Hi, welcome once again to Andy's BarbeSkew World. Today we're going to be cooking a roast sirloin joint on the BarbeSkew spit, and the first thing I'll be showing you what we will be doing is the seasoning rub that I'll be putting on the outside of the joint before we set it. Okay, for our rub that's going to go on the outside of the beef, we're going to start off I don't know, just make enough to cover it, so I'm going to be putting in just about 1.5 tablespoons of fine sea salt. I'm going to put around about the same amount, maybe not quite the same amount, of ground black peppercorn, maybe about a spoonful. Okay, that's enough of that, and we're going to put in just a little bit of garlic powder, just about a teaspoon. 3/4 of a teaspoon will do that, and also about the same amount of onion powder, about a teaspoon of onion powder, and just to give it a little bit of a zing, I'm going to give it about half a teaspoon, 3/4 of a teaspoon. He's bit approximate of chili powder. Okay, and then we're just going to mix that together. You see that? Smells good, and that's what we're going to just rub all around the outside of the sirloin joint. Okay, here we have our sirloin joint. Very nice looking piece of meat it is too, and it weighs about 1.5 kilos, and I bought it from a local butcher's, John Pettit's, and it in Grimsby. It's a very good butcher's, and that is a very nice fresh piece of meat. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pat it down with a little bit of kitchen roll, just to dry the skin slightly and make it kind of tacky on the outside, but not too wet. Okay, and now we shall sprinkle some of our seasoning over the top, like that. Give it a little turn. Of course some of it will fall over, but I'm going to dip the ends of the joint in it also. A bit of good liberal coating of that stuff. And then when I've done that, I'm going to be putting it on the skewer. Okay, that's completely seasoned all the way around, and on the ends as well. So now we're going to get our meat onto this, and I've never done this before, so let's hope it turns out okay. Obviously want to keep it as central as possible because we want a nice even cook throughout. That feels like it's going nicely straight down the middle. Waiting to feel it at the other end, and that. I think that's not too bad, and we're going to get it in the middle of the skewer like this, and these things here, bring these in. I may have to make some adjustments when I get it actually on to the barbecue to make sure that it's in the right place above the burners. And that feels good. It's not too far out of balance, so I think that'll turn fine. So, next step is to get it out on the barbecue and get it turned. Okay, here we go. We'll put the spit onto the barbecue and I'll just check that it's in the right position. And, not bad, got it right first time. So I'm just going to tighten these nuts up. These wing nuts which will hold the meat. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to roast it fairly high up from the burners. I've got the 3 burners, I've got the 2 outside burners on. And I'm going to put the middle burner just on low because I want it to be mostly indirect heat if we can get away with it. Okay, that's on low in the middle, high on the outside, and we're going to close the lid and get this turning, and then it should roast all the way around. Let's see how it goes. Okay, it's now 4:15, so I think we'll come back and have another look at it in about an hour. Well, this has been cooking now for about an hour and 10 minutes only. However, I put the thermometer in and the internal temperature is coming out. It's just sneaking into about 140. I think I'm just going to give it 5 more minutes and then we'll be able to take it off. I think 5 more minutes will do. Okay, now the internal temperature is now at the higher end of 140 centigrade, so I'm happy that it's done. So I'm now going to turn everything off and we're going to take the meat inside, put it on the board and let it rest. Okay, this meat is now settled very nicely. Everything else is in order. And I'm going to now carve it up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into nice, thick medallions of beef. These are serious medallions. These are the kind of medallions that Snoop Doggy Dogg would have. And there we have it. Very, very, it's kind of medium. Not as rare as I would have liked it, but we're going to cut them nice so it's like steaks. So we cut them all through like that, and we're all going to have a couple. It's cutting nicely. Like maybe like that. I'll get the strings out of the way later on, but it's nicely done. Okay, so that was the roast sirloin joint. It was very nice, we all enjoyed it. I think I left it on a little bit too long, maybe shouldn't give it that extra 5 minutes at the end, because I would have liked it a bit more rare. But it was beautifully seasoned and we got some very, very nice gravy out of it. I put the tray underneath, it caught all the fat and the dripping from it, and that made some very beautiful gravy. Really enjoyed that. So pretty successful. We'll give it another go in a few weeks' time, most likely, and hopefully get it just the right kind of rareness that we want. So that's that. The next thing I'm going to do is going to be a little bit more ambitious, so watch out for the next episode of Andy's BarbeSkew World, and hope you've enjoyed this one. See you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.